there's a kind of recurring post that I see with YouTubers, and it is a post called How to Stay Motivated. And what they try to do is explain to you all the ways you got to go out and look for motivation. And I have a mindset on this because I think motivation isn't usually what you're missing. I think what you're missing is you don't have a plan, and you are a little worried and frustrated because you're like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't have a plan yet. Well, that's the secret of motivation. I've told it to you in the first minute. You could shut the video if you wanted, but I know you kind of want to hang out with me. But motivation is about having a plan. It's about doing the work because you have the privilege to do the work, and you get the opportunity to practice. So I'm going to practice, and that's going to be my motivation. I'm standing here. This is the Merrimack River, and it's still. It's a very cloudy, rainy day. There's a bunch of boats here because I'm at Lowell's Boat Shop. And I think boats, river, nice little red building, and kind of gray, rainy day is enough of a plan. And I've got a lens that I've been working on with called the Pergear 35mm f1.4 that I'm going to talk about a little. And that's my whole plan, and that's how one gets motivated. So yeah, I don't think motivation is the problem. I think this is sort of like if you sneeze, and it could be an allergy or it could be a cold or many other things. I think when we're trying to solve for motivation, that thought is the problem. I think instead what we're trying to solve for, like I said, is a plan. We just need a plan. The plan doesn't have to be much of anything. I had this great opportunity to interview Steven Pressfield a couple different times. He's the author of several books you probably know, the most famous being The War of Art. And I told him I had a bone to pick with him. I didn't like him going around telling everybody that they needed a muse. And I said that I thought, I think the muse is about hard work, and we don't need a muse, we just need hard work. And he said, well, who do you think the muse visits? Which I thought was a great turn on it. He said, the muse visits the people who have their butt in the seat and they're doing the work. Photography for a lot of us isn't our job, especially you and I here. Like, this is not our gig. We are doing this because we want to connect. We want to meditate. We want to take our hands off our cell phones and do something with a camera for a while. I think that if that's true, and if you believe that and that's how it's lined up for you, then instead of worrying about motivation, all you really have to worry about is a plan. So I have a plan, and it's a really simple one today. This is the Pergear 35mm f1.4. It is small. It is so inexpensive. It's a brand new lens, but it costs less than $100. And it is full frame. So look how small it is on my camera. Like it's nothing on the size of my camera, and it's 35mm. Now 35mm is kind of that right between very wide, not very wide, right between wide, like you could see a lot of things, and a little more close. 35 is kind of a scene range. It's almost like when you set in film, there's a wide establishing shot, then there's kind of a middle shot where you see the dialogue or the action or whatever, and then there's close-ups. So there's wide, middle, and close. This is the middle. It's Goldilocks, I guess. So it's a lens it's a range that when you go to shoot it, you have to compose. When I shoot 50 means I can get really close. I can be abstract. I can just pick a detail out of a scene. And I'm drawn to details out of a scene. So it is no it's how my brain works when I look at something. Is I try not to see the whole of everything. I try to see just this thing. So I'm practicing with 28 and 35 millimeter, and especially this 35 millimeter because it's so small, so simple. And that's what I've made my plan. So my motivation isn't some kind of weird, large, I have to change the world thing today. My motivation today is, why don't I just practice with this lens and see if I can get something? Now the weather is rainy and gray. There was no golden hour. There's hardly any people because it's cold, rainy, and gray. And so it's basically, I have to make my fate today, you know, I have to make my success. So I'm sitting out in front of a bagel place, not that far, also from a Starbucks, because I thought, well, maybe this is honey and it'll draw things to it. Maybe this will be a way that I can get some shots. But it's early, it's 7 in the morning and there's hardly anybody out here. There's a guy walking right now. There's another car pulling up, but it's quiet. And I'm in like a tourist town. I drive to this town where it's like, there's supposed to be lots of people, but it's rainy and it's cold and it's Tuesday morning and I'm gonna get what I'm gonna get. But none of that's motivation, right? Like none of that's a challenge of motivation. It's just what the conditions are. So can I still shoot shots with my lens? Sure. I don't think they're gonna be very fun to show you. I can practice the lens just the same though, and that's fine. Because that's the other thing. Sometimes when we say we're not motivated for the wrong reason, aren't we? We're not motivated because we're feeling like we have to perform or we have to show something or we have to deliver to other people. I mean, I have a YouTube channel, so you're tuning in. You kind of want to see something noteworthy and interesting, right? But when it's just us, when it's just us shooting, you don't have to do that. No one's forcing you to make these choices. You just do what you think you can get done. So I'm gonna hop out of this car where I'm nice and warm and happy, and I'm gonna go out and see if I can get a few photos with this beautiful little 35 millimeter manual lens and try to make little scenes. And I'll probably shoot some people if I get the opportunity. And the motivation is because I have a plan to practice. The motivation is that I come and I do the work. The motivation is that the more time I log shooting, are more chances I have of getting something. Whereas if I just stay home or I stay in my house or in my bed, I'm not going to shoot a lot of great photos from there. I am so grateful for your time. I'm so grateful that you allow me to think with you about this stuff that we can talk about. Photography is meditation. My meditation today is that motivation is not the thing we're seeking. It's just a plan. And as long as you know how to give yourself a simple plan, a simple project, something to go after, then that's your motivation. You with me on that? You know how to reach me, Chris@chrisbrogan.com. I haven't had a letter from you in a little while, by the way. Send me an email. It's going to take you 35 seconds. Chris@chrisbrogan.com. I miss you. And as always, in between these little videos that we do, please be good to yourself. Microphone.